How's it going, guys? aRenG Life here, and today I'm going to be talking about a new set that is coming to Duel Links called Generation Next. Now, the card that shows up on here is, I think it's called Arcana Knight Joker. It involves using King's Knight, Queen's Knight, Jack's Knight. So it's like the whole poker type little set. I don't know if that's hype because in the TCG they recently got a new Jack's Link card, but whatever. We're not talking about no Link cards right now. We're going to be talking about the best cards in Generation Next. So let's go ahead and get started. I was talking about Arcana Knight Joker, and we're going to go ahead and look at its effect and see what exactly it does. Alright, so this is a fusion card, and it basically states it needs Queen's Knight, Jack's Knight, and King's Knight. A fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion material monsters, so apparently you cannot substitute, which is kind of lame. I don't know if there's going to be ways around it, because from what I'm seeing, there are ways to substitute certain cards, at least in this set, but I don't know. But let's see. Alright, so once per turn, you players basically. Alright, so basically, this thing is targeted by a card effect. You can discard the same type of card and negate the effect. So it works exactly like Ultimate Providence, which is pretty decent, but I mean, it still requires you to throw out a card. So I don't know how good this card is going to be, because you do need to spend 3 cards and the fusion card to bring this guy out. I mean, he's pretty strong. He's 3,800, so he's strong. But his effect, I mean, he can negate stuff, but I just don't know how viable it's going to be. But whatever, someone's going to eventually make it really broken. Moving on, we got another big old fusion monster. It almost looks like we're going to get ready for the whole GX thing. But we got another fusion monster, and this one is Five-Headed Dragon. I did talk about this card before in the leaks. I did say that it was coming to Duel Links, but here it is. It's going to be in the new set. Alright, so Five-Headed Dragon, pretty sure if you guys have seen the show, or at least been into Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, I'm sure you guys know what this guy does. Or at least its conditions. It's a big old 5,000 attack, 5,000 defense dragon. Its condition is you just need 5 random dragons, whichever dragons, just 5 dragon type fusion. Monsters must be used to make to summon this guy, the fusion summon. And it cannot be summoned by other ways. Another effect that a lot of people don't realize this guy has is that it cannot be destroyed by battle with a dark, earth, water, fire, or wind. So basically, you can only kill it with a light type monster, or to be honest, you can just super rush headlong it. It doesn't say it can't be stopped by spells, so I mean, it'll suck that if somebody puts that much effort, uses 6 cards to summon this guy, and then it just runs into a super rush and gets wrecked. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy doesn't really protect himself. Maybe by battle, but who's gonna be running it over? But whatever. Moving on. One of my favorite cards that I'm looking at. This one is actually a really good one. I'm looking at Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 8. Now, we are looking at level 8, but obviously 6 and 4 are also in this set. Because you need them to summon him. But let's go ahead and read his effect just so I can show you guys how good this card is. I think this card is the true MVP of this set. So let's go ahead and read the effect. It cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by the effect of Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 6. And cannot be special summoned by other ways. So you cannot use level up apparently. Or no, I think level up works. Level up should work because, I mean, Horus is on the card. And also it negates their summoning condition or whatever, so level up should work on this, but if so, then GG, this card's gonna be amazing, dude. Alright, it continues to say, during either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Just that. It's just, if they activate a spell, you can destroy it. Just get rid of it. No cost, just destroy it. Which is amazing. This is a 3,000 monster, and it's just brutally strong. And it also says you must control this face-up card to activate and resolve the effect. So I think in the TCG they'd be able to like make it go face down for whatever reason. I know there's some cards in this set that can make you go face down. We're going to be talking about those a little bit later, but that's pretty much it for Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 8. In a bit, we're going to be talking about level 6 and so I can show off their effect as well. But moving on once again, Evil Dragon, ANANTA. Now, this card It looks interesting. It says, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by removing from play all reptile monsters from your side of the field and graveyard. This card's attack and defense are equal to the number of reptile monsters removed times 600. During each your end phases, destroy one card on the field. So, now, this card is interesting because it works kind of like Mega Rock Dragon, except Mega Rock is for rocks, this guy's for reptiles. Now, Mega Rock Dragon never became like a huge thing, and also this one is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of situational because you can get rid of everything to summon him, and he can become strong. Sure, if you get rid of, like, I don't know, 5 reptiles. Alright, and go ahead and start my stuff. How's it going, guys? aRenG Life here, and today I'm going to be talking about a new set that is coming to Duel Links called Generation Next. Now, we got a card that's actually fairly new. I think this card came out fairly recently. It's called Magical Something. It's got such a weird name. But I mean, whatever. I'm actually going to read it for the first time. I've never seen this card, so let's go ahead and read it together. This card says, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. When that spell card resolves, this card's level is increased by the number of spell counters on this card. Okay, interesting. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card, then target 1 quick play spell card in your grave and set it. You can only use the effect of Magical Something once per turn. That is pretty interesting, but you do have to remove 3 spell counters, but it looks like spell counters are going to get a little bit more support. Man, this is going to be an interesting card. I mean, also you're going to get a quick play spell card that you can activate as well, giving it even more spell counters. But, okay. And I hear this one has another form or something, some other card that works with it, but whatever. For now, we'll leave it as that. And moving on. We're looking at the next card, and it is a card called Card Guard. Now, I have actually used this card before in the past in the TCG. This card's pretty cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and read its effect. It says, if this card is normal summoned or special summoned, place 1 guard counter on it. Okay? This card gains 300 attack for each guard counter on it. Once per turn, you can target 1 other face-up card you control, remove 1 guard counter from this card, and if you do, place 1 guard counter on that target. If that card would be destroyed, remove 1 guard counter from it instead. Now, this card is cool. I really like this card. I like it because of its effect. It is normally a 1600. It can come out as a 1900 beater. It is a 4-star, so instant 1900 Fiend. And if they got Power of Dark, then it's going to be 2100. So 2100 Fiend. Pretty cool. Also, the additional effect, which is probably the main effect people use it for, it's that Card Guard ability where it can protect any other card on your field. So if you have some other monster you want to protect, you just put the guard counter on that, and it'll be harder to destroy. Pretty good support. I mean, I think this might work for a lot of different decks. Definitely decks that like to protect their field spell or something, kind of like a Toon Kingdom and stuff. But Toon Kingdom already has its own way to protect itself, so whatever. But moving on, we got another really interesting card called King of the Swamp. Now, this card is cool because of its effect. I did talk about this briefly on yesterday's video, which it was a recap of the new event, just showing off the new event. And someone did use this card, and I was pretty hyped. This thing, I'm going to read its effect just to let you guys know exactly what it does. You can substitute this card for any 1 fusion material monster, but the other material monster must be correct. You can discard this card to the graveyard, add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. So basically, this outshines all the other substitution cards. This one makes the other ones look like garbage because it has the ability to pitch and add a polymerization to hand. So it has 2 effects, which makes it amazing. So I think this card is actually really good, especially since we're moving to a very fusion-centric era. Maybe since we're getting GX, this card's going to be really, really useful. I mean, the only thing is it's got weak attack, but you're not going to be using it to run things over. Gonna be using it for the fusions. Alright, but moving on, we got another card. This one is called Diffusion. Now, I have definitely seen people use this on the anime. I'm pretty sure I've seen Blue Eyes do it all the time, freaking Kaiba and stuff. Or I don't know if that was in the anime, but I've definitely seen it used to defuse Blue Eyes ultimate into 3 Blue Eyes and then get 3 more attacks, which is pretty crazy. So we got that Diffusion. Its effect basically says target 1 fusion monster on the field, return that target to the extra deck, then if all fusion material monsters that were used for his fusion summon are in the graveyard, you can special summon all of them. So that's pretty cool, pretty interesting card, especially if you want to get that extra hit in, because it is a quick play. I think that'd be pretty OP in Duel Links. It is a UR, so I don't know how hard it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be pretty hard to get since this is gonna be a full box. But I'd recommend this one at least at 2 or something. And moving on, the next card we're looking at is a card called Floodgate Trap Hole. Now, this card is actually really good. The way I'm seeing it, this card looks awesome. Because this is what I'm saying that might be able to kind of wreck Horus. Its effect does state, when your opponent summons a monster, change that monster to face down defense position. Monster changed to face down defense position by this effect cannot change their battle positions. So basically your opponent goes ham with their Horus, they bring out the highest level Horus, you chain this card, Horus goes to face down defense, cannot do anything about it. And he cannot flip, so he can't come back up. So I think that's one interesting card. I really like this card, to be honest. I think this card might be like a legit meta if used properly. I think this card could be really good. But I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of like individually really good cards. I am seeing a lot of people complaining, saying that the set is garbage, but hey man, everybody complains in the beginning, then they're like, wow, this set is so good. But moving on, the last UR we're looking at is a card called Book of TAIYOU. Now, this card has a very simple effect. It's flip 1 face down monster in the field into face up attack position. It is just a normal spell. I thought it'd be a quick play, but it's not. So, I mean, I guess it could be useful for flipping certain cards face up, like the turn you set them, so they can gain their effect. Because there are cards in this set that I'm going to be talking about in a bit that do kind of benefit from flip effects and stuff. So let's go ahead and look at the next one, and this is the start of the SRs. So first SR we're looking at is called TYPHOON. Now this card is pretty interesting. You can basically target one of your opponent's back row on the field that is face up, and you can destroy it. And that's just basically the effect. So it's pretty generic, but what makes it shine is this secondary effect, that if your opponent controls 2 or more back rows and you control none, you can activate this card from your hand. So that is amazing. That is really cool. This is like a hand trap, and that's awesome. So if your opponent's just got heavy back row, you could just activate this card and just wreck them from your hand. So it's pretty cool. But what does suck is that it does rely on them having 2. So if they don't have 2, they have 1 in back row, then it might just be good to just set it and then wait to activate it. But whatever. Like I said, it's an interesting card in certain situations. But I don't know. It's up to you guys to decide. Moving on. Now here's one of the cards that I was talking about that does get support by that flip card, Book of TAIYOU. This card is called Nobleman Eater Bug. Now, this is like Man-Eater Bug on steroids. The only thing that sucks is that it's a level 5. It's a level 5 with like 900 attack, 1200 defense. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It is an SR, but I don't know, man. I mean, it has a cool effect, sure. Effect does state it is a flip effect, and it just, when it's flipped, destroy 2 monsters on the field. So that could be pretty cool, and it could be used to get over something dangerous. But I don't know, there's gonna be a lot of combos to get this guy off. You might have to pitch it to the grave somehow, and then you maybe one thing you can try is that 1 burial card that brings back 1 card from your grave and 1 card from your opponent's grave and face down defense. And then maybe Book of TAIYOU, flip it, destroy 2 of your opponent's monsters. Another thing is, if you do, it does say destroy 2 monsters on the field. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You do have to destroy 2, so if your opponent only has 1 monster, Nobleman's going to kill himself. So, I mean, which can be an okay thing, because he's not really strong in attack position, so whatever. But whatever. I mean, it looks like an interesting card. Some people are going to be able to abuse it, probably. But for now, the way I see it, it's a 5-star, man. It's a 5-star, and I just don't really... I don't like it. If it was a 4-star, it would be amazing, dude. It would be so good. But whatever. Moving on once again. We're looking at one of the cards that I actually like. Once again, we're looking at Horus the Black Flame Dragon, level 6. Now, level 6 is still pretty good. I mean, you've seen his Big Daddy, level 8. And level 8 is awesome. Now, this card has a slightly different effect. Let's go ahead and read that effect. And it says, this card is unaffected by spell effects. So, GG. It doesn't negate spells, but it's unaffected. So, you can't super rush headlong it. You can't econ it. Which, I mean, automatically makes it pretty good. And then, it continues to say, during the end phase, if this card destroyed a monster by battle this turn, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon 1 Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 from your hand or deck. Now, so this one basically works that if it destroys something, it evolves during the end phase, which is awesome. And that's pretty cool. So next turn, your opponent's gonna have to deal with some big old monster, and that's pretty awesome. I really like Horus. Horus is probably my one go-to monster. I love this card in this set. I want it. I want all the Horuses. I want to make like a whole deck around it. But alright, whatever. That's pretty much it for Horus. I mean, it's just a pretty decent card, and it's unaffected by spells, and I mean, it's most likely going to be able to destroy something and evolve. If not, you do have that level up, so GG. Moving on, next card we're looking at is B.E.S. Crystal Core. We had B.E.S. Big Core before, now we got Crystal Core. So it's like more of the B.E.S. archetype. So, let's go ahead and read its effect. It says, when this card is normal summon, put 3 counters on it. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. Alright, so it cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card attacks or is attacked, remove 1 counter from this card at the end of the damage step. If you cannot destroy it. So kind of pretty much the same as Big Core. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can change 1 face-up attack position monster you control to face-up defense position. Right off the bat, I am seeing a few combos you can use. Maybe with like the whole clowns. Using the clowns to destroy stuff and whatever and whatnot. But I do see that combo right off the bat. That could be pretty interesting, but whatever. Moving on, we got some more B.E.S. coming. This one is B.E.S. Tetran. Let's go ahead and read this one's effect. When this card is normal summon, put 3 counters on it. Once again, same thing as before. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. Again, this card attacks or is attacked. Remove 1 counter from this card at the end of the damage step. So there you go. And if you cannot destroy it, pretty standard. All the B.E.S. so far have had that effect. And once per turn, you can remove 1 counter from this card and destroy a back row on basically on the field, just anywhere. Yours, your opponent's. I think this card is actually going to be probably better than the other one. But I mean, it does have 2300 defense, so there you go. I think this card's pretty cool. I don't know if it's like going to be meta or anything, but it definitely has its own little shenanigans. Moving on once again, we're looking at a card called Boxer. So, Boxer. Big old boxer made out of cardboard boxes. I've actually never seen this card before. This is my first time looking at it, so let's go ahead and read its effect together. It does state, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can place 1 counter on this card. You can send this card with 2 or more counters to the graveyard, special summon 1 earth monster from your deck. Oh, that's actually really good. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove 1 counter from this card instead. Alright, so this card looks pretty cool, to be honest. It's an 1800 warrior, earth. I can definitely see this card being used. I definitely have to keep an eye out for this set to see if it comes with any like big old earth monsters. But for now, it looks really, really interesting. All you really got to do is destroy a monster by battle. Next turn, you can bring out whatever big monster you want. Or at least if you're running an earth deck. Moving on, the next card we're looking at is a card called Flame Tiger. It's another 1800 4-star. So we're getting some of that beast support because this is a beast. I did recently make a deck using a bunch of beast and beast warriors, so this card might be pretty useful. I have not read the effect, so let's go ahead and read that effect together once again. During your draw phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you control no monsters, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can special summon this card, and if you do, banish it when it leaves the field. Woo! This card is actually really good. In combination with that Beast Rising deck that I made, instead of drawing, you can just summon it, give its attack to someone else. So it's gonna get banished either way. Oh man, this card is so good, dude. I am looking forward to getting this card at least at 2 or 3 because I would like to upgrade it. I'll upgrade it with this card. Alright, so pretty good. It's got 0 defense though, so gotta watch out. But whatever, moving on. Okay, next card we're looking at is a card, looks kind of weird, called Damage Equals Reptile? Damage Equals Reptile, fair enough. It's continuous, and this one does state, once per turn, when you take battle damage from battle involving a reptile type monster, you can special summon one reptile monster from your deck with attack less than or equal to the battle damage you took. So you have to take damage from a reptile, so your opponent's got to be running reptiles, and you can only run it in a reptile deck. How is that viable? Like, I don't know how this card is gonna work. I mean, maybe you can give your opponent a reptile and then get attacked by it, and then special summon a bigger one, something with at least the same number of attack. But in that case, why not just attack them with the reptile you have? Why bring out the one from your deck? I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions that come up with this one. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work. You guys are gonna have to let me know if you know any cheeky plays that happens with Damage Equals Reptile. I don't know how this card's gonna be useful, but now that I think about it, it's probably gonna become its own little like deck, kind of like how I made the Beast Rising deck. This one's probably gonna have its own little thing, but whatever, fair enough. Moving on. Alright, more SRs we're looking at. We have another one called Armor Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy. Now this is some ninja support right here, obviously because it's in ninjutsu. And this one's actually pretty cool. If you control a face-up ninjutsu art card, which you will have if you're playing ninjas, because they leave the field, they come back, they leave their ninjutsu art on the field. This one destroys all face-up ninjutsu art you control and draw 2 cards. That could be really good because once they're on the field, they're kind of useless. They're just taking up a spot. So if you can get this card maybe at 1 or 2, this could be pretty cool, especially for that draw engine. But whatever. Moving on, next card we're looking at is a pretty standard card. It's Gaia Power, the standard Earth power-up. It's just an Earth field spell, gives all Earth, 500 attack, 400 defense. I was actually waiting for this to come because I think this was the last one that was here because all the other ones got their own little buff. This one, Earth, just took a while. But whatever, Earth got their field spell as well. Alright, and moving on. Okay, next card we're looking at is called Fusion Recycling Plant. This one does say, once per turn you can discard 1 card, add 1 polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. There you go. You get to recycle polymerization, pretty good card. Once per turn during your end phase, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard that was used as a fusion material for a fusion summon this turn and add it to your hand. So this card can be really, really good in a fusion deck. Really good. It can recycle polymerization, it can recycle fusion materials, but that is implying that you've already fused. So I don't know. I don't want to call it a win harder card because in some fusion decks you're gonna be fusing first turn. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be one of those things that you do like breathing. It can be pretty interesting. Definitely interesting. I've got to say that. But I think we have one more card to talk about today, and that is going to be K9 Atar. But once again, this one does state, once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calc and either player's turn, you can send 1 beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your hand or deck to the grave. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to the sent monster's level times 100 until the end of the battle phase. And you can send a big old, like, I don't know, level 5, 6, 7, 8 beast warrior, winged beast monster from your deck to the grave and just do some shenanigans. It'll just gain so much attack. I don't know, I think this is probably, it's during the damage calc. So it's, once they've cemented their attack in, then you can just wreck them. So this card looks pretty interesting if you're running a deck around it as well. Maybe, I don't know, I would definitely consider running this in the Beast Rising deck as well, just because of its little effect. Imagine this one getting a boost. I don't know, man, this thing might be pretty cool. But that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to talk about all the URs, SRs, the best cards in this set. Let you guys know about my opinion on what some of the cool cards are. Obviously, aside from these cards, we're going to be getting cards like Horus, Jack's Knight, Queen's Knight, King's Knight. All these cards that are probably going to be normals, rares. that I didn't talk about in this video. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys!